Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third graders. My name is Mrs. Nix, and I am so excited to be here and support you as you become amazing thinkers, readers, and writers. Guess what? I got to start my Thursday off with another fantastic note from a friend. This one is from Braden. He lives in Hanford. So good morning, Braden. Thanks for watching PBS in the morning. I love that we get to hang out and spend some time together. Here's something that I love that Braden shared with me. He told me some things that he's learning in his class. He says, what I learned was that you need 4 parts to a sentence: a naming word, an action word, a capital, and punctuation. Great job, Braden, because yes, those are all things that you need in every single sentence. Keep up the great work. And because you sent me a letter in the mail, guess what I'm going to send you? I'm going to send you one of these fun activity books. Boys and girls, if you want to have a fun activity book like this, all you need to do is send to the address that's listed here on the screen just a quick little note. Tell me something you're learning, or even just a note to say hello. Maybe a favorite book that you're reading. You can tell me about the name of it and maybe your favorite character, or just to, like I said, to say hello. I will stick an activity book in the mail just for you. So Braden, make sure you watch for this. It's totally free. All right, and thanks for including your return address so that I can do that. All right, boys and girls, I do want to talk about, because what is it that we're here to do? We're here because we're learning and practicing how to read and write and become amazing thinkers. And so when it comes to reading, we love to encourage that. We love to see students that are going to their county libraries and checking out books, or going online and checking out a book through Sora. We love also to count down our top schools in Fresno Unified that are checking out stories through Sora. So this week, in second place, we had Wilson Elementary. So great job, Wildcats. I'm going to put you right here. You guys are extraordinary. So keep it up. Boys and girls, if you want to see your school up on our chart 1 week, all you need to do is check out a book from Sora. That's all you've got to do. And then maybe tell a friend or two. All right, great job. Let's get started this morning. I have 3 things that we're going to go through. We're going to look at R-controlled vowels, suffixes, and then finish off by practicing our main idea and details. You ready to start? Okay, let me grab my little pointer stick and let's do it. Let's start out with those R-controlled vowels. I've brought my chair card to remind us of the air sound, and I have these cards over here all in blue. And maybe you're wondering, why do we have all of these in blue when everybody else got their own color? Because these say ear. If I had my own card, I'd get an ear card, and I would say that these spellings say ear. And you're also going to notice that some of these spellings are the same. So E-R-E actually has 2 sounds that it can make. We're going to practice both of them this week. Okay, let's start with the air sound, like our chair card. And air can be spelled A-I-R, like in this word, repair. Good. A-R-E says air, like in this word, square. Do you see the A-R-E here at the end? Nice. Now, E-A-R says air in this word, like tear. And E-R-E can say air, like in nowhere. Do you see it? Good. Then we've got ear. So E-R-E says ear, like in persevere, and E-A-R says ear, like in teardrop, and E-E-R says ear, like in peer. Now, boys and girls, did anyone see this? Tear and tear are actually spelled The same. Those are homographs. Those are words that are spelled the same, but they're pronounced differently. So you always have to pay attention to the context of the sentence to know, are you saying tear or tear? Okay, great job. All right, let's go through. I want us to talk about suffixes. We've been practicing 2 of them this week. We've got Y and LY. And the first thing that we need to start off with is our base word. So looking at our poster, we know we've got prefixes, base words, and suffixes. So we always start with that base word. Now, a base word is just a word that has its own meaning, and it can kind of just stand on its own. Let's look at these 2. We've got bright and mess. Okay, so these words can be all on their own, but we can also change them up a little bit by adding a suffix. Now, a suffix is a group of letters that's added to the end of a word, and it changes its meaning. So the suffix ly means that it's being done in a certain way. So watch this. If I take ly and I add it to bright, now my word is brightly. And that could say, maybe describe the sun was shining brightly in the sky. It's telling us how it was being done in a certain way. It was being done brightly. How about mess? How about y, the suffix y, which means full of or having. So if I add y to mess, what's my new word? Messy. So maybe my room is full of mess. I could say my room is very messy. I hope your room is not messy, right? You clean it every day, make your bed. All right, let's go through and see what would this look like if we were to practice this. Now I've got a little bit of a sorting activity up at the top. We're going to do half of them today and half of them tomorrow. So let's just practice on these green words today. So read them with me, but we're going to sort them based on our air, like A-I-R, A-E, or A-R-E, E-A-R, and E-R-E, but they're going to be the air, and on this side we're going to put the ear sound. Okay, so we have to really listen. So let's read them. You're going to help me, right? Okay, how about this one? What's this word? Beard, beard. So where do we want beard? That's right. We want it over here, ear. That's our ear side. How about steer? What sound does that make? You got it. Same sound as beard, beard and steer. How about there? Okay, it's going to go over here on the air side. Good. How about shared? Shared. You got it over here on the air side. How about where? Where says air, just like this. And nearly. Nearly has the ear. Good. We're going to put that over here. All right. And then now let's look at the bottom. Practicing some of that suffix. It says, read each sentence and circle the word that has a suffix. Write the base word on the first line and the suffix on the second line. So pretty easy, right? Let's go through. Can we find our suffixes that we've been working on? Read with me. He quickly finished the homework that was due. Did you see it? Yeah, right here. Here's our word, quickly. So what is our base word is quick. And what's our suffix? ly. Good. Do one more. If you are too messy when you paint, you'll have to clean up. All right, what's our word? Messy. What's the base word? Ooh, we just practiced this one. Mess, and our suffix is y. You got it. We're going to finish this one up tomorrow. Great job. Okay, let's finish off today. We've been talking about and reading about our solar system, and we've been practicing what is the main idea and details. And to help us just kind of warm up our brains for this idea, this concept, I have a little game right here. It's called Detail, Detail, Detail. What's my main idea? So I have some little details in here, and you're going to help me decide what do they all have in common. So let's look at the first one. Sleeping bag. Campfire. Ooh, do you have an idea? And a tent. What do those all have in common? What does it make you think of? Did you say camping? Excellent job. So boys and girls, this is something you could play in the car. You can come up with your own details, but essentially that's what your brain is doing as you're reading a text. You're looking and trying to make those connections. All right, so let's go through and read some of our story that or our text about Earth and our solar system here. And we're gonna pause down here at the bottom, and we're gonna do a little bit of a close read. All right. Read with me. Earth's closest neighbor. Everyone knows about Earth's closest neighbor. We see it in the sky almost every night. It is the moon. The moon is much smaller than Earth. It is about 2,160 miles wide. About 50 moons would fit inside Earth. Our moon orbits Earth just as Earth orbits the sun. The moon takes about 27 days to travel around the Earth. Like our planet, the moon also rotates, but it rotates much more slowly than Earth. The moon takes a little more than 27 days to turn all the way around. Since it travels around Earth in the same amount of time, the same side of the moon always faces us. Okay, here's the part where we're going to look at, and we're going to look at those details. From night to night, the moon seems to change shape. Sometimes we can see the full moon. Other times, it looks as if it has been cut in half. The moon's shape seems to change just a little each, and I'm going to turn my page, each night. Over about 1 month, it grows into a full moon and then gets smaller and disappears again. Okay, let's talk about some of the details in that paragraph. Help me underline them. All right, we can start right here from the beginning, right? From night to night, the moon seems to change shape. The moon is always changing shape, right? Sometimes we can see the full moon, and what do we see some other times? Sometimes it's just a half of it, right? Sometimes it looks as though it's been cut in half. When you go outside and you look at it, sometimes it's full, sometimes it's half, and it always seems to be changing. All right, I put some of these details, I put them right here so we can look at them. We've got the moon seems to change shape from, I think it says night to night, right? Every night it changes just a little bit. And then we also have in here that sometimes we see the moon, or the moon is sometimes a full moon, and sometimes it was just a half a moon. And in 1 month, the moon grows into a full moon and then becomes small again. So what are all three of these details talking about? Are we talking about Jupiter? Are we talking about Pluto? No, we're talking about the moon. And what about the moon? We're talking about the shape of the moon. Okay, and how it changes over time. So let's look at our sentence here. The moon changes shape nightly over a 1 month period. So that would be our main idea. You guys are doing outstanding. I just want to say thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I look forward to seeing you back here at PBS tomorrow. Have a great one. Remember, you're responsible for your learning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
To a brand new day, time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.